Every day life went by with fear and peril haunting my joy. My mind was a playground and these thoughts were the toys. Fear was a predator, my dreams were its prey. And every day I prayed that tomorrow would not bring forth more sorrow. Because I was a Joseph, this body sold to the Egyptian of sin for the payment of pleasure. And every 3 days that went by, I had a chance to resurrect from this tomb of failure I had become. But even if my problems went to the gym, they still wouldn't have worked out because every legacy I tried to create, the devil tried to destroy. And it tied on strongly onto my vocal cords every time I tried to scream, "Peace, be still," to this storm you see peace. Isn't something you can achieve by yourself. It's not an item you go to the store and buy yourself. Yesterday is gone. Tomorrow seems to hold that bullet called hope. But are you willing to pull that trigger of faith today? There was a step of knowledge I missed. I failed to understand that the church was not a place for perfect people. It was a place for perfecting people. It's not just a school for the chosen. It's equally a hospital for the broken. I was at the verge of crossing the bridge of life to death when grace became my life support. You see, Christ hacked into the hotspot of my past world with grace. As the password, now you see why I can paint a proper, perfect portrait picture of the present. Even when my past is a slideshow of failure and regret, you see, he came. In the long run, erasing my shortcomings. So even when the devil's shot keeps coming like phones in church, I put them on silent. And when I wrestle through the valley of the shadow of death like John, I remember that he rebranded me even when I was a sinner. Now, this Roman reigns, it reminds me that that tomb was empty for my life to be filled. So I followed that Savior who traded his riches for my rags. So the next time fear showed up, I reminded it that the pace in God's grace has no speed limit. So even if the barracks of hell breaks loose against me with 1,000 on my right and 10,000 on my left, I'm in the Lord's army. How would they harm me? See, forget the sponge lines. I know these lines will point sweet sensations in your ears and leave you asking, who is he? You see, I am he. And I'm from Zion. And where I'm from, we do not fall sick because his power is perfect even when we're weak. And since I bank in the Lord, call him my first bank. Because his fidelity guarantees I can trust him now. I have access to eternal heritage. You see, I live a life that's sick in sickness. One that feels failure because I'm one with the bridegroom who groomed me into being the perfect bride. And he reminds me that even if I was lost in the world and lost in after the world, and now he has connected me to the roots that never runs dry for me to manifest his love as told in the Chronicles of Scrolls. In summary, what I'm trying to say is, a life without Christ is like a stock truck. It can never move forward. So do not let youthful enthusiasm be an excuse to excuse God's place in your life, because he has set us free from every limit and bound. And just like me, we can live life without limits.